Hello and welcome to another replica reviews video. Now today it's a bit of learning for us really. This is the first time we've ever reviewed a rifle. So as you can probably see, we've come outside to the great outdoors. Thankfully our lovely weather has held off just for a couple of minutes so we can get out here. But anyway, less yapping, more reviewing. So in front of you today we have the Baikal Mp-61. This is a side lever rifle, caliber .177. And it features a 5-shot magazine, but we'll go on to show you that later on because it's quite a neat little feature, and they've done it really nicely. So as you can see in front of you, for anybody that's interested in packaging, that kind of thing, we have the box in front of you there. It follows a similar kind of fashion to the other Baikal guns. If you've checked out our Viking review or even the Gen 5 Makarov, you can see that the colours, quality, design, logos, that kind of thing, they're all pretty much one and the same. Obviously with the rifle they've just stretched it out into a rifle box. So what we'll do now is we'll just move slightly forward. Sorry if the sound changes. We'll open the box up and I'll show you what's inside. Now as you can see, opening up, it's really kind of not very exciting, is it? In true Baikal fashion, they've covered everything in wax paper, again for storages purposes, etc. You can see also here we have a really nice little user manual. Not sure how well that's coming out on the screen there, unfortunately. Opening that up, it literally just covers all the usual things that you'd expect from a Baikal user manual. There's a exploded diagram which is really useful if you're into servicing your own guns, etc. That will be a real handy help. It's also signed off on the back. You have to excuse the phone there. You also signed off on the back so that you can see who checked it and when it was produced, etc. Also included in the box is again in the traditional wax paper, we have the cleaning rod. I won't get it out, it's just a generic cleaning rod. If you really want to see one, I can dig one out, but you know, it's nothing really exciting. It is cut to the correct length for the barrel of this rifle as well, which is really neat. So it's not too long, not too short, so you can really give it a thorough clean without having to worry about hitting the back where the air pistons are, etc. You know, it's really well thought out. And obviously if I lift up the wax paper here, you can see the rifle itself. Now the sharp-eyed guys of you would have noticed just underneath the lever there's a little bit of string. Attached to that little bit of string is a second 5-round magazine. Really nice of them to include that, so it gives you 10 shots a time without having to reload. As you can see, it's quite a compact rifle, but what we'll do is we'll quickly move all the packaging out of the way, we'll give you a quick overview and then we'll cut in and show you some of the better features. Okay, so now that we've got the packaging out of the way, you can see the rifle from what it is. As you can see, hopefully if you know the scale of this this work stand here, it's an incredibly compact rifle. I'm more inclined to say it's one of the shorter ones I've ever shot. It can be a little bit too short, but we'll go into that later on. That's not a real big issue. Now as you can see in front of you, it's a really nice little design. Everything's kind of been thought out quite nicely. We've got fully adjustable sights at the rear here, or midway, little iron sights, and we've also got sights at the front as well. What I will say is they're really easy to adjust. Anybody can adjust these sights with literally like the turn of a dial. There's no tools involved with elevation. I think there's a little Allen key just to do the windage, but nothing too major. Everything else really is pretty self-explanatory. The operation of the rifle itself is all done as you're actioning the lever here. I won't actually cock the weapon, but the basic gist of it is you just unhook it like so, and then that'll open up. But we'll go into that in a minute. We'll move the rifle and the camera around a little bit to give you a nice close-up look and show you exactly what this gun's about. As you can see, all of the lower frame here is all plastic, the pistol grip is plastic, and also the top part of the stock here is also plastic. The barrel and the sort of the spring unit and the piston lever itself, the lever that you move out, are all metal, and they're a really nice high quality metal as well, with a really nice finish to it. Although it's just a plain metal, it's almost got, I'm going to use the word carbon weave kind of effect on the barrel. Obviously if you really polish it up, it might go shiny or whatever, but at the moment it looks really smart. It's got to be one of the nicer barrels I've come across on the outside anyway. As you can see here, although you've got your sights, you've also got the mounts here just to attach bog standard sights on it. For this kind of gun, I'd recommend using a diopter sight. I don't think anything telescopic on here is going to be of much use. It's a relatively low powered rifle compared to others, but that said, it still packs a punch. If you're shooting maybe 30 yards or whatever, or even close targets, it's going to be more than powerful enough. So what we'll do quickly is we'll just move the camera around, and we'll move the gun around, go nice and close up in on the gun, and we'll just show you the action working, and some other key features as well. Okay, so what we've done here is we just moved you into the business end of the gun, so to speak. This bit here that you can see really is just the lever, and also the I'm going to use cocking lever, if that's the right word. As you bring the actual priming lever itself out, you'll notice that this is cycled through. Now obviously we're not going to load this rifle during the review. I know a lot of people out there are quite safety conscious about that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do in a second is just move forward, show you how to cock the weapon, and hopefully just explain how the magazine system works, because it's a really nice little feature and I really like what Baikal have done with this rifle. So to basically open this lever up here, you move it up just a fraction and open it out like so. Now hopefully you could see here all of this starts moving. Now as you bring in this forward, this little unit here gets pushed up like so, and as you can see it just cycles out the magazine. Now what we'll do in a second is I'll move to the other side of the gun and we'll show you that again. But as I basically push this forward, it cycles the magazine. You get 5 shots per magazine, and then with the new one you literally just push it in like so and then just carry on shooting. Hopefully you can see that coming out really nicely. So we'll just put the magazine back in so we know where it is. Obviously when you're done or you finish with the rifle, you just move this part forward, lock it like so, and then the lever goes back. It's a really nice feature, it's really simple, and it's one of the things I love about this rifle. There is nothing to go wrong on it. I use that in a loose term. Obviously, you know, if you really start drilling down, there are things that will go wrong, but the basic mechanics behind the whole gun are really nice and simple. As you can see here, you've got adequate length to mount any kind of sight that you want. You can use any kind of rail setup that you want, you know, whether you want to put a diopter sight or an actual telescopic scope, is completely up to you. What we'll do now is we'll quickly cut again, and I'll show you the stock, and it's fully adjustable, so we'll hopefully explain that really nicely as well. Okay, so as you can see here, we've moved on to the stock portion of the rifle itself. As I hinted just in that last section here, it's a fully adjustable stock, which is really neat. You simply unscrew this button here, bring it out, and then tighten it up to whatever style you want. It's completely, you know, there's no notch system in it, so it's completely up to you where you actually put the stock. It's a really neat feature. I'm only 5'10", but I tend to have this slammed all the way back out. It's a really compact rifle. It's one of the smallest ones I've ever used for sure. And then obviously when you finish adjusting, you just tighten that up. No need to do it too tight, and it just sits nice and firm here. Now while we're in on this section here, hopefully coming out on the screen you can see here, my only gripe with this gun really in construction wise is the pistol grip area here. Now the actual plastic is really nice, high quality. As you'd expect from Baikal, they use a particular kind of plastic and it works really well. But this is hollow. I really didn't like that. Even if the grip was hollow, it would have been nice to have had a small plug or just a cap to go across here. I mean, okay, you know, you could put some things in there, but to be completely honest, I just think it's one of those fine-tuning details as such that they missed out on. But the rifle only retails for $99.95. Any guys that stock guns from York Guns in the UK will be able to get a hold of you. One from, you know, whether you go to your local dealer. So it's quite a cheap gun in that respect, but it's just small things like that that I think if you just spent that extra like 5 minutes in the planning room just to come up with a plug to go in here, you know, just would have finished the overall package. Apart from that, it's really nice. The stock is really decent quality to a certain degree. Obviously the metal is all finished lovely. The magazines I thought were a little bit prehistoric in their construction. The mechanism and the idea behind it are absolutely brilliant, but the actual execution I'm not too sold on. I'll get the magazine out in a second when we move on to show you that part of the gun and hopefully kind of explain that better for you. Okay, so here we are on this side of the receiver. Now as you can see, one thing that I did overlook a minute ago, the markings on this gun. There aren't very many of them, but you do have the Baikal logo here, the caliber that it's chambered to, which is 4.5mm, and then obviously you've got your F and the HW, again for your German market. Now I'm not sure if it will be coming out on the video here, but on the barrel you can almost see like the carbon weave effect there. If it doesn't come out here, go across to our Facebook page, we'll get some nice close-up pictures, hopefully show that off a little bit. But what we'll do now is just quickly move on to show you the magazine. Now, as you can see, as I'm cycling the cocking lever on the side, the magazine moves across like so until it's used all of its shots, and then you simply, hopefully, take it out like so, and then you're left with the magazine. Now, the magazine is real basic plastic. It almost looks like it's just been machined from a single block. I do have my concerns about how long this will last for, wear and tear, but as you can see, if I just move this into shot a little bit better, you do get a spare magazine with the rifle. Now, to reload it, it's really nice and simple again. You just push it in like so, in like that, and then you just bring the bolt forward to chamber the round into the barrel. That really is my only gripe of the gun. I'm quite conscious there my shadow's just moved across, but we'll go with it. That's only my real gripe of the gun. One thing I will also mention for anybody interested is the trigger here. Again, is plastic. Apart from the barrel and the actual piston unit inside here, everything else is plastic. I'm not too sold on it, but for a budget gun, as I said earlier, this gun retails for just under £100 as we were doing the review. So I don't think we should be expecting too much from it. So what we're going to do is we've shown you all the sort of the main features really, and everything that there is to know about the gun. So we'll quickly reassemble everything, zoom back out, and I'll just give you a quick overview and a conclusion. Okay, so that pretty much really concludes our video today on the Baikal Mp-61. Now, as I've said throughout this video, this really is quite a basic rifle. It retails in the UK for about £100, give or take. You might find them slightly cheaper on the second-hand market, assuming you can find one at all. I've been very kindly loaned this gun by our local dealer, just so that I could get my hands on it really and just have a look. He's very kindly said that I can say pretty much whatever I want really, which is really nice because it helps us kind of retain the honesty and the independence, which is always one of our main selling points. So my overall kind of conclusion with the gun, I think this gun would be brilliant for younger shooters. If you've got kids or, you know, relatives that are a little bit younger, I really think this would be a nice gun to bring them in on. Okay, there's no safety, but to cock it is quite difficult, so you know they're going to need your help there. The compact size, the really basic mechanism, and the really easy to use sights I think lend themselves to younger shooters perfectly. If you're an older shooter and you just want something you know, just to plink around in the back garden or something to go and do some sort of 10-meter targets with, I think you can't really go wrong with this. I think value for money, it's a really good gun. My only concern with it really is the full plastic construction on the body. I'm a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to my rifles. I own 2 day states which have got Minelli stocks on, so obviously really nice wood. So to go to something with a full polymer construction, for me it just doesn't feel right. It's really light though. That said, it's really light. If you're going to be moving around, maybe this is the gun for you. Again, simplicity wise, it's really good. Anybody can use this. There's no safety, which is a bit of a pain, but you know, it's really simple. If you've got your wits about you, it's a really good gun to use. Would I recommend it? Again, it depends who the market is. If it's a younger shooter, most definitely. If it's an older shooter, I might be more inclined to recommend an SMK rifle, or even something a little bit more high-end. Now, if you've got any questions of this rifle in front of you, feel free to post them in the comments below. I can answer it as best as I can. Obviously, I'm not an expert as such, but I'll give you my honest opinion there. If you want to see some more close-up pictures, feel free to go across to our Facebook page. I'm really trying to get that the place to go, really. We're getting all of the news bulletins, all the things coming up posted on there, and also a couple of little Facebook exclusives, things that I don't think will go too well on YouTube, or you know, just general kind of range shots and pictures and videos. You know, we go up to our local range with the Mossberg 590, for example. I've got a few clips of that on there, and a couple of other interesting things there. So my final point really is to say cheers to the guys over at Pull the Trigger down in Plymouth. They're our local shop as such, and they've been really good. They've loaned us these this gun here and the Umarex Colt Python. They basically gave them to us for a week and just said do as you please, review wise, which is really nice of them to do. So again, cheers to them. Thanks to you for watching. If you want, feel free to give us a like, maybe subscribe, and until our next video, take care.